What is up, everybody? This is your boy Pop from Hobo Skateboard Shop. And this is your fanboy fix of the week. And I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. I know I do get chatty. So this is me just addressing a little topic that constantly goes on in the collecting, community. Of course, you guys know I like my action figures. I've been collecting for years. It's just one of those hobbies that I totally enjoy. And it's not because for any monetary gain or anything like that. It's just one of those things that I enjoy doing. I'm starting to wean off of it a little bit. I guess I'm getting old, y'all. But whatever it is, one of the main things I really hate about this hobby from other people is that people constantly ask the question, how much is this worth? All right. And in that case, what they normally do, and what I've seen to gather and realize from it, the people that normally ask that question, how much is this worth? And when they, find a toy or whatever, and I just so happen to have one right here, they find a toy. Maybe, and 9 times out of 10, it's probably old, been chilling in the closet, or they, came across it at a yard sale or whatever, and they come around somebody like us and go, how much is this worth? All right. And nobody has a real legit way to explain to them, what it really is worth. Now, if it's something that's really old and really rare, yes, it probably does cost a pretty penny, depending on what it is, what condition it's in, and so on and so forth. All right. And let's face it, that's the reason why they ask that question. They basically trying to make a pretty good financial come up off of it. So, because if that wasn't the case, if they wasn't like me, lovers of the hobby or anything like that, they wouldn't even waste their time with it. Okay. They probably find it in the garage or at a yard sale or something like that and give it off to some little kid or whatever to play with. They just found a cheap toy. And there you go. So, but the main thing is that people like to say that eBay is the best way to find the proper price range for a collectible or toy, and we're talking toys in this case. All right, and mainly action figures. And my thing is that I feel like that's not a very good way to do it, because although those people 9 times out of 10 just basically link on to each other's price range. So yeah, so basically they're saying that, look, if on eBay, if everybody, the majority of the people is selling it for whatever, let's say $40, then 9 times out of 10 it's worth around about $40. So they feel. And my thing is that I feel like that's not really fair. That's not a fair case, because the person that put that $40 price tag on it was basically just like anybody else, just selling it, trying to make a profit off of it. So the next person that saw that $40 price tag probably looked at that, the exact same thing they had, and was like, man, I didn't even know this thing was worth that much. All right. I thought it was just worth $10. So I'm going to also make it $40 too, or maybe $35, just to compete. All right. And the next person be like, wow, people are selling these things at $40 or whatever, and a lot of people are asking for it. Well, I might sell mine for $45, because that's how things go. So that's my whole problem with it. If we do that, all right, if we keep that up, then certain small things will just fly off the shelf or whatever, and people would just make ridiculous price ranges for them. We call them scalpers, and people, I mean, if you don't know what a scalper is, no need to go. It's let's just say they're the bad guys in this situation. All right. So yeah, so some scalper come along, find a figure, all right, and just go straight to eBay and go $40. And they probably bought it straight off the shelf for like $10. Now, being a owner of a business or something like that, I understand, you know, making profit off something. That part's fine to me. All right. But when people ask that question as if, you know, what we doing and they want somebody to grade their little action figure, some little old figure, something, as if, you know, we're running the Antique Road Show here or something like that. And I'm like, that's not the case. If it's basically, bottom line is that the value of what you got is basically what somebody's willing to pay for it. All right. If you bought it for $2 at a yard sale, right then and there, it's probably worth $2. It was worth $2 to the person that sold it to you. And they will probably, you know, you probably could haggle them out of the price. So they probably sold it to you for like 50 cents. And then you probably run across somebody that look at it and go, oh my God, you know, where did you get that from? I've been looking for that thing ever since I was a 10-year-old boy or something like that. What do you want for it? Here's a blank check right here. You know, no prices, no option to me. And next thing you know, all right, it's worth $700. And they pull out a big wad of money, just throw it in your face. Buy out, hit you with $700. And you're like, sold. And they run off because they finally, and you thinking that, wow, this is amazing. I mean, and all those things are nice. And trust me, that's a really cool way to make money if that always worked that way. But I normally and generally, when people normally ask, how much is this worth? They're looking at those type of people that, you know, those glory stories that they don't heard of, somebody finding some little old He-Man action figure in their closet or attic or something like that. And, you know, they ran across somebody that bought it for like $1 bajillion or whatever. And they're going, really? That's how much those things are going for? Because I got a whole bucket of Master of the Universe action figures, you know, up in the attic. And you run upstairs to your to the attic and get your whole, you know, collection of toys that you done had ever since you was 12 years old, and you run off to whoever, because it's not like it's really a designated place to go in. And then you just run into somebody and be like, how much is this? It's like, that person might look at you and tell you, I don't know. It's a He-Man toy. He-Man toys aren't, you know, that much. Or maybe that He-Man toy is rare, you know, and that's why everybody's, you know, clamoring for it. Or collectors or something like that may be looking for that certain one. So yes, I understand the supply and demand. I understand the rarity of something, which makes it, you know, more valuable than something else. But that does not give it a baseline price range of how to gauge and grade and put a price tag on something. And this, I'm finna tell you this story for somebody, I mean, all the people that basically know. There is this 12-inch, and if I'll put the link in the description below of this action figure, the Spider-Man action figure that I have. It's a giant Spider-Man action figure. It's really articulated. I've always wanted this thing ever since it came out. It was from the movie. It's just like a few years old or something. And I went to you know, I can't remember which con that I went to. It was either Dragon Con or Momo Con, one of those cons. I can't remember which one I went to. And there is a dealer that's normally at this con that sells action figures. And it could be like a brand new figure that just came out, and he'll throw it up on his shelf that these guys normally cost at this point right now, normally about $20. He'll have his whole collection of wherever he get them from. Maybe he probably got a week or two earlier than when it's supposed to drop, and he'll put it up in his booth and sell it for like $50. All right, so this little $20 action figure, you run across this guy and he'll be selling it for $50. Okay, and if you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't. I'm one of those people that's like, all right, I don't think it's worth $50. Plus, it's new. I'd rather, take my chance on running off and finding it. All right. Point of the story is that he had this giant Spider-Man, 12-inch Spider. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I'll leave the link in the description below. I'll probably leave a thumbnail up for it for you guys, so you know what I'm talking about. So he was selling, and they normally do sell for this much on eBay or whatever. He was selling it for like $200. Now, as much as I wanted this toy, I'm still not at a point where I'm willing to pay that kind of money for an action figure, especially something that, I'm not, looking to just put up on a wall and display it and let it sit and, gain value. Like in that case, I play with my toys. Anyway, so this guy's selling it for like $200+ or whatever. And I'm like, well, damn, I guess I'm going to miss my chance again. Okay. Now, it was loose. It wasn't in a package. That's a whole different story, too. I'm just telling you the story. So, I walk around the corner, couple booths around the corner. So I'm like, still enjoying the con. Lo and behold, I see somebody else at another booth selling toys and whatever, figures. And they had one up there, just lamping to the side. And I asked them, I said, how much is that Spider-Man? And they said $20. And I was like, really? I was like, I'll take it. And the guy was like, well, because, one of the joints were loose, which I don't think it was or something like that. I think it was the head or something. One of the joints was kind of loose or something like that. He said, I'll knock off $5 for you or something like that. And I was like, sold. I was ecstatic. All right. And I was the happiest kid at the con, which was just a couple of years ago. And I was so happy. And this was the petty part about it. I wanted to run back around to that guy, shove it in his face and go, $20, fool, $20. And just laugh and run off. I would have looked like an idiot, but hey, I mean, that's how it was. So that's basically all I'm trying to get at to you guys that do this thing. It might be rare. It might be old. All right. It might be brand spanking new. And it might be in high demand or something like that. But it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. That's all it is to it. Okay? Because, and to tell you the truth, the way I feel about it, if I bought it for $20 at the store, okay, and I run to eBay and they selling them for $400, I'm not gonna run back to Toys R Us and be like, hey, you want to buy this back from me for $400? Jeffrey the Giraffe gonna look at me like I'm a damn fool and kick me out the store. Okay, so there you have it. That's all I wanted to say. It's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. So whatever it's worth to you, whatever you want, feel like it's worth selling for, and whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. That's basically the bottom line of what it's worth. And that's it, y'all. Thank you for subscribing, commenting, and liking. And for telling a friend to tell a friend. That keeps the channel going and growing. And yes, I am still begging for subscriptions and, views. So please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. And, please share the video because YouTube is still basically making me grovel. I don't care, man. I mean, hey, I'm still trying to get my little 1,000, subscriptions. So on to that. It's all still fun and game. Anyway, I'm up out, y'all. 2 fingers.